Looks like you're ready to go to Disneyland, so here are 13 things that you really don't want to forget, and I've organized it into a list with 5 categories. I've definitely included some that are more geared towards families, but most of these items also apply to adults and teens, so keep watching, and I'm leaving the most important items for the end, so please watch till the end. So the first category is clothing, and the first thing that you might want to bring is a poncho. This will actually help protect your clothes if you decide to go on a water ride like Tiana's Bayou Adventure. If you decide to go on this ride, you will get wet, so the poncho is going to keep your clothes dry. If it's a really hot day and you don't care, skip the poncho. You can also give it away afterwards if you get a really cheapy one to someone else who's waiting in line. The next item is a change of clothes. So if you opted not to get the poncho and now you're regretting it, it might be helpful to have a change of clothes. This is also great if you have kids and you want to have something for them to change into in case they have an accident or if they spill food or something on themselves. It could just be really handy to have extra clothes. Even just extra socks or underwear could be really helpful. The third thing in this category is a jacket. So if you're planning to stay all night, it may get chilly towards the evening and you're probably going to want a jacket. If you bring a windbreaker or something like that that has a little bit of water resistance, this can also double up in place of your poncho. It won't cover as much of your body to protect you from water, but it will keep you warm and reduce the number of things you're packing if you really don't want to take that poncho. And the next category is food and drinks, and if you are liking this so far, please consider subscribing. So of course you're going to want to bring snacks. Now the big thing here is I always remember to bring snacks for my kids, but I frequently forget to bring snacks for myself. If you don't want to pay the high prices for the snacks at Disneyland, bring something that you want to eat. But also make sure that you bring stuff that your kids will like, because that can be really handy for reducing boredom while waiting in line. The second thing you might want to bring as far as food goes is meals for picky eaters. So for me, this mainly applies to my middle daughter, who is so picky, but will almost always eat a peanut butter sandwich. So why would I pay $20 to get food that she is probably not going to eat at the park when I could just make her a peanut butter sandwich at home and have something she's guaranteed to eat? And then you can also bring the kinds of sides your kids might like to eat too, so they can have a sort of more balanced meal than something like chicken strips and French fries. Even if you're planning to buy food for yourself or other members of your group, it's a good idea to bring stuff for your picky eaters. This one also applies to kids who have certain dietary restrictions, like my nephew who has diabetes. Another thing you're going to want to bring is a water bottle. If you don't have one, don't panic. There are water fountains and places that you can get drinks at Disneyland, but it's just going to be a little bit less convenient, especially if you have kids. I get straw water bottles for all my kids. And of course I have my Owala water bottle. You can refill them at stations all over the park. Number 7 is reusable straws. I'd specifically recommend bringing a metal reusable straw. Disneyland really only has paper straws, and those are just not a good experience. The last time we went to Disneyland, I wasn't planning on getting a drink, but my daughter and I ended up splitting a frozen lemonade, and of course it came with a paper straw. And that is just such a terrible drinking experience, especially when you're paying so much to have an enjoyable day. And just bring your reusable straw and you'll have a way better experience. The next category is weather protection. So the only thing I really have in this category is sunscreen. So if you're keeping track, that's number 8, sunscreen. Again, hot and sunny Southern California. It's very nice, but you don't want to get burned and ruin the rest of your trip. So go ahead and put sunscreen on in the morning and then reapply during the day. It's always a good idea to have sunscreen. You could put umbrellas in this category as well, but I don't. We really don't get that much rain in Southern California. And so unless you've checked the weather and you are pretty sure it's going to rain, it's just going to add weight to your already heavy carry. So unless you're bringing a stroller and you got lots of extra space, skip the umbrella. The next category is hygiene. And so the next item on my list is number 9, hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer is always a good idea, especially after each ride. If you have really young kids, they might be putting their hands in their mouths, or they might be wanting a snack. So just sanitizing in between rides can be a really good way to prevent germs, especially with this really long cold season we've been having. Number 10 is wet wipes. If you are already bringing a diaper bag because you have really young kids, you probably have wet wipes with you already. But even if you don't have young kids, wet wipes can be great for cleaning your hands or wiping down tables when you're going to eat, wiping faces of kids that are maybe a little bit older. You get that ice cream, you spill it on yourself. Wet wipes are just always a good idea. The number 11 is Post-it notes. This one really does apply more to younger children because the reason I put Post-it notes under hygiene is that we use them to cover the automatic sensor in the bathrooms. As far as I know, all the bathrooms at Disneyland have automatic flushing, and kids who are potty training really are afraid of automatic flush toilets. So it's very handy to just have a Post-it note that you can put over that sensor and keep the tantrums from happening. So my husband just makes me a little kit where I have toilet seat covers and Post-it notes that I can take anytime I need to go to the bathroom with my potty training kids, and it just makes life so much easier. So now we're at our final category and the two most important things you need to bring to Disneyland. Number 12 is really the most important thing you need to bring: your phone with the Disneyland app. Now you're probably planning to bring your phone anyway, but the Disneyland app is really helpful. You want to have an account and you want to have your tickets on there when you go. So it can act as your ticket. It can act as your lightning lane. You can use it to order food. You can check ride wait times. It is just really handy to have. And therefore, number 13, a phone charger is also super important. So you're going to want that phone charger because if you're using your phone to run the Disneyland app all day, you are going to run out of battery probably before you finish off your day. And it's just really handy, especially if you have a phone that can do wireless charging, maybe get a wireless power bank, and then you're ready to go for the whole day. So that's it, 13 things that you want to bring with you to Disneyland. Don't forget, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing, and see you next time.